I find myself single, alone, and in the Bay Area. Specifically, this weekend I'm in San Francisco. As an aside, my parents fled California. They both grew up in the Golden State, met at UC Santa Cruz, and then ran away in their 20s to the Midwest. But at 23, I feel the pull back west. I mean, you date a girl for 3 years, and then one day it ends. And then what do? Well, I decided to get on a plane and fly somewhere far away. There are a few types of love in this world, and when one is over, I'll lean on another. But we'll get to that. On Friday, I go to my job, work all day, and then drive to the airport. I catch one plane to Denver at 6 p.m., run around its very confusing terminal, then another plane to SFO at 11. My trip is poorly planned so far. I didn't pack any clothes. In fact, I didn't even bring a backpack.
Just landed in Denver, have all of 2 minutes to catch my flight.
After landing, I take BART and then an Uber to Market Street, and then I walk. This is a city both metaphorically and physically driven by momentum. My hotel has a security guard to let us in, and after 10 minutes he shows up and duly hands out keys to all the misfits arriving in San Francisco at 2 a.m., I being one of them.
First order of business is to go find a backpack since I brought nothing but my suitcase, which I think is about 10 blocks away. I don't know. Once I get a backpack, then we'll be good to go.
I'm here for work, but also to see a friend. Her name is Shannon. We took a trip to Texas many years ago, and now she lives in Berkeley. In college, we took a car south one weekend and lived in hostels. I don't keep many pictures in life, but I have those. I love Shannon, and Shannon loves me, but Shannon and I were never romantic. You can have non-romantic friendships. On Saturday, I walked to buy a backpack, and then I meet her outside Target. We decide to go get coffee, and then go thrifting in Mission. It's the first time I've seen her in 1.5 years. Romantic love is a powerful thing, but it's not the only connection humans can make. The Greeks have a lame word for it, agape. Shannon and I think it's fair to say, are the definition of agape. And I think in some ways, San Francisco is the city of agape love, the city of second chances. This city has a history of becoming a home for misfits and a haven to immigrants. Therefore, maybe it was only inevitable that when Shannon and I were to meet again, it was to be here. In the evening, we go back to her apartment in Berkeley, and I meet her friends and her life. She has a boyfriend, Ben. He's, in a word, great.
We're in Berkeley now.
Saturday, I return to the city and stay at the Maser. I apologize, I don't have any footage. This is where I left my camera at Shannon's apartment after an art show where James Franco's brother showed up. On Sunday, I wake up and remember my relationship is over. I feel slightly nauseous, but I don't know whether it's from the realization that I'll never see that person again, or I simply haven't slept enough. I walk up through Nob Hill and crawl around Chinatown. I watch 2 men buy heroin, and I also make a Tinder account. 155 matches, all of them terrible. I have very little in common with people who smoke weed. I came here initially very much wanting to make sense of why my relationship ended. But although closure is seductive, it can also be extremely deceiving. Ultimately, it doesn't matter why something ends, it only matters what you do after. Which makes me think a lot about failure. Sometimes it's harder to cope with failure than loss.
I'm really addicted to coffee.
I know.
I show Shannon and Ben around Chinatown, and after Chinatown, we walk to the park and watch people unironically have fun. It's this kind of stuff that makes San Francisco. We then climb up to Coit Tower. And on the way down, I find myself quoting John Green, saying all relationships end, either in death, divorce, or breakup. Forever is a false concept. I don't think either of them were listening, but as Joan Didion wrote, it's easy to see the beginning of things, and harder to see the end. On my last day in San Francisco, I also found myself thinking about people who leave relationships and who leave cities. Do they do it because they're running away from something, or running towards something? I like to think I ran towards something being here, but maybe I'm running away from failing. It may sound weird, but every city has a frequency it sends out to the world, and if you listen carefully, you can pick up on it. Boston, for instance, is all about academia. New York is finance. LA, aesthetic. San Francisco? Well, I don't know. I think San Francisco believes in failing. Failing until you get it right. And that, at least, I have in common.